Welcome back. Parking and housing in Baltimore City are two issues that dominate conversations surrounding new development. But a new bill before the City Council would eliminate mandates that force developers to create parking, changing the way new housing is made here in the city. This proposal is part of a larger package of 5 bills that we previously reported on for you, aimed at tearing down barriers to build housing in Charm City. Joining us to break down this new bill is the Baltimore Banner's Daniel Zawadny. Daniel, thank you so much for your time. You start your article by addressing that common fear that people have when they hear eliminate parking. But this bill only focuses on minimums that developers have to worry about.
Sure, Stefan, thanks for having me on. And yes, the start of the article, it's a bit of play on words, right? Because nobody wants to eliminate parking. And to be very clear, that's not what this bill does. It would eliminate the minimum requirement that developers would have to provide, say, a garage, a surface lot, some sort of off-street parking when they're building new buildings.
Gotcha. And we definitely need our parking downtown, especially the downtown area. And for our viewers who may not understand, what have you learned in your research about how this could benefit the housing supply in our city?
Sure. So a lot of housing experts say that this is actually a really good idea for a couple of reasons. One, the requirement to provide parking spaces, say in the form of a parking garage, it drives up building costs. So let's say you have a 5-story apartment building, but you are required to make the first floor all parking spaces. So that is essentially you're building the same amount of space, but you can rent out less of it, and the cost of that ends up getting pushed on to consumers or renters. So folks they estimate, providing a single parking space for a housing unit can cost tens of thousands of dollars in additional building costs. So when you eliminate that requirement, it helps more projects get done, which increases supply and reduces housing costs overall.
Yeah, we need more housing, as we know here in our city, but Baltimore wouldn't be the first city in Maryland, though, to get rid of those parking minimums you're speaking of. What sorts of benefits or issues did people in Salisbury run into when they got rid of the minimums there?
Sure. So Salisbury on the Eastern Shore, that's the first place in Maryland to eliminate parking minimums. I spoke with Jacob Day, who is Governor Moore's head of housing and community development. He was mayor of Salisbury at the time when they made that change. He said that it's been instrumental in pushing developments along that have helped to increase both student housing supply and other housing supply. He said that some constituents were worrying about a quote unquote Carmageddon of nobody being able to have places to park. He said that did not happen. I should say, a proposal like this is not without its opponents. There are folks that say that Baltimore, is still just too car oriented and doesn't have a robust enough transit system to make something like this work. But the city council could be deciding on this legislation as early as July.
All right, we will wait around and see. Excellent reporting. Daniel Zawadny from the Baltimore Banner. Thank you so much for joining us. And if you'd like to learn more about Daniel's story and other independent reporting from our media partner, the Baltimore Banner, you can just head to thebaltimorebanner.com.